Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome back to our Chavruta sessions live from Jerusalem with Rabbi Chaim Goldberg of the Noahide World Center. Just waiting for him to show up in our Google Meets room. We haven't had a class in a couple weeks. Last week, at the last minute, Rabbi Goldberg told me he was not available. Unfortunately, he was out of the country, but he told me not to tell anybody. I don't know, maybe somebody will be upset he's close to their country and didn't bop in to see him, but you can't be in two places at once. But glad to see a lot of people joining us in the Google Meets room. A lot of the usual suspects, plus a few new ones. Got my friend Bob Wells there, exciting, and others. And but on the bright side, some fresh news. I was chatting earlier today with the gentleman who handles Rabbi Shirky's podcasts, and he's just preparing a bunch that are in English, and he's going to get those to me, so I will be posting those. He's just got to do some clipping, and I will be posting those on the Noahide World Center English Facebook and YouTube pages. Hopefully I can put them into proper class playlists on YouTube. That's the biggest complaint I get with YouTube is a lot of our classes are not in an organized playlist, but a lot of people don't realize there was a time I was doing as many as 15, 20 streams a week, and I don't think people realize that the way playlists are made, unless you start one immediately and then add it as you stream them live, it's almost impossible to put them in order because you've got to go back, even though I like to tell everybody just go back to the date, but I've been doing this for 8 years streaming these broadcasts, and I know I'm over 2,400 live streams. It's been such a joy to work with them, and I'm now excited to be able to hear Rabbi Shirky's messages in English, and they'll be coming soon. So as I get them, I will be sharing them out there on social media. And I'm told he's got 3 years at least of Rabbi Shirky's teachings. If you're not familiar, Rabbi Uri Shirky's the founder of Brit Olam, the Noahide World Center, and Rabbi Goldberg speaks so highly of him. Even though I consider Rabbi Goldberg my rabbi, he speaks so highly of Rabbi Shirky. He's the one who wrote the Brit Olam book and the Brit Shalom book. And so, I'm looking forward to... I tried to go and meet them last year in Montreal, Canada, when they were in for a conference in Montreal. And wouldn't you know it, my plane was so delayed leaving here in British Columbia, I missed my connector in Calgary to Montreal, and it blew the whole trip for me. I had to book the time off. You hook everything up, and then things beyond your control happen. And thank Hashem that things worked out. Inevitably, I was able to cancel the hotel and my rental vehicle, but still ends up costing frustration and time. But Hashem knows all our days, so. It's a joy. Welcome, Angelica. So we're just waiting on Rabbi Goldberg to arrive. I haven't seen him yet, and we've got plenty of people in the... Oh, there he is. All right. Shalom, Rabbi. Let's just pin you up here, and we're going to... Rabbi Goldberg's with us. So good to be with you, Rabbi. I was just telling everybody that I was chatting earlier with Chezi, who has been handling Rabbi Shirky's classes, and he's got a bundle of them, a few years worth, that are supposedly in English, and he's trying to get me the video so I can share on the Noahide World Center YouTube and Facebook. And so I'm excited to be able to watch and hear those messages. But we've missed you the last couple weeks. You've been a very busy man traveling and whatnot, so we're glad to be with you today. Oh, and if you notice in our class today, we got my friend Bob Wells has joined us, so and we've got a few others, so it's a full classroom. So I'm going to turn the class over to you, Rabbi. So good to be with you.
Good evening, everybody. Yes, first of all, I also missed all of you. In the last 2 weeks, we had I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago, I was, never mind everything. But at the end, thank God I'm here. Everything is fine. I also missed you all. Tonight, basically, we're going to finalize the first chapter of Genesis. I will say it like that. We're going to learn something very important. as we did in the last few weeks. I will say that I know that Dan is working very hard to put all of those things also on the internet, and I really appreciate that. It's already for a few years, really, with a lot of appreciation, and people can enjoy this also after that, after the meeting. And always you can also come inside and be with us. I will start again with mentioning that we're going to have a big congress this coming November, and a lot of people already registered. And if you want to be sure that you're going to be in the congress, so I'm offering you to come with flights of the Israeli airlines from Europe. Okay, fly to Europe, and from Europe come with the flights of the Israeli airlines. The government forced them to give very cheap prices for few places in Europe, and they're not canceling. Also, if there is some sort of a crisis that the other airlines are not coming, the Israeli airlines are coming always, and you can be with us. Don't miss it. I think that the world is moving towards new things. Another thing that I will start before we're starting to learn, let me bless the North American people for maturing a bit and becoming like an infinite baby that is starting to walk. Because I'm speaking, my history started 4,000 years ago. So it's really nice, 250 years, but it's only 250 years. With all of the respect, it's like an infinite that is starting to walk. It's excellent, excellent. And if you will go to East Europe, you will find that there are languages there and places that for 2,000 years, not 4,000, but at least 2,000, right, Helen? I'm sure that you have places there that 2,000 years. So 250 years is very nice. It's really nice. It's amazing. It's a good start. I wish you to stay more than Rome, okay, for example, or more than more than Babylon, more than Rome, those places. Fair enough. But still blessings, a lot of blessings. I'm sure also when you go to Bat in his country, okay, so you can find a lot of Arabs and also a lot of old things. I don't know what's happening today when they won the football match, right? And they're doing a lot of noise on the streets and a lot of fights and everything else. Fair enough. Let's go inside. Let's dive to the things that stayed from the beginning till today. I said it more than once. I must open with this before I'm going to share the screen and going to show the presentation I prepared. It's very important to realize that the first chapter of Genesis, we don't really know what it means. And the reason is very simple. First of all, man was created in the end of the chapter. So until the end of the chapter, it's like, speaking Chinese to those who don't know Chinese. What exactly the meaning of the wording there? So we are reading it like a story. We are sure that we understand it and everything else. But the truth is that it's hiding, or it's saying a lot of ideas that we need to understand them. We learned already. Okay, you can go to the things that I shared and everything. You can see that it's sharing a lot of things. Again, we got it. We received it from the prophets, and the prophets explaining to us what they said. And secondly, we're speaking about the time. Not only man wasn't there, it's a creation. It's something new. It's not working under the system of of nature that we have today. Nature that we have today is one thing. The time that nature was created, it's something else. Go to the baby infinite inside his mother's womb, and today we can see this with all of the, going to the hospital and seeing, doing all the machines that is showing this thing. You see how it's being created, and it's different than how we see it here in this world. So all those things are showing or explaining to us that we need to find the exact way how to interpret the wordings of this first chapter. So we learned a lot of things already. I think that we moved. Now I'm going to surprise you with the things that we're going to learn tonight. And this is going to be the last issue that I'm going to discuss from the first chapter. Then we'll move to the second one. We'll conclude it maybe next week, and then we will move to the second one. We'll conclude everything. And I will do an examen. Who knows? Be prepared. But I'm going to surprise you and to show you how we believe, for example, that without any things before. Let me share the screen and let me know that you see the screen, okay? That so we can move straight ahead. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Maybe here. It is. I think. Let's go to. Here it is. Tell me that you see the screen. Two values. Yes, you see it? Excellent. Okay, I can see some of you. Okay, but it's okay. Yeah. Dan, we have an agreement that you are reading, right?
Okay, two values of perfection, a reading of Rav Kook and the Sugya of the third day.
We're going to learn about the third day, okay? And again, we're going to see it in the way that the Hebrew nation is reading this third day. So if the first, it was a long time ago, we spoke about the menorah, and we spoke, if you remember, we spoke about the 3 days before the Shabbat. You see my mouse, yes? Yes. The 3 days before the Shabbat itself, and the 3 days after the Shabbat. And we spoke about the wisdom, I will say it like that, and the Shabbat on the other side. The second lesson, what we saw 3 weeks ago, we started to realize that it's not two different ways of learning, grasping knowledge, what it is. It's a question of the attitude that we have, and it's something that it's rebuilt inside yourself. You can learn mathematics, you can learn physics, you can learn everything, and search for God inside this learning. It's one of the ways that God is showing his, I will say, himself in front of us. And now we're going to ask something else. And the question is, are we living, those are things that we spoke, okay? You want to read it for a moment so people will see it.
Yeah, it says, in the previous lessons, we built, like the menorah, the outer structure. 2 lamps, 2 wisdoms, 1 menorah. Lesson 2, the inner structure. Boundary runs through intention. Very important.
We learned it, we saw it. If you can go back and learn it again, everything is fine. And now we are going to ask the main questions. And this is the main question of tonight.
Today, a different question.
Okay. Please.
Today, a different question. Are you living the path, or are you only crossing it? Sounds philosophical, but it is the most existential.
I will explain it. Let me explain this for a moment. You will see how much it's a very, something that we're living every day. We all remember when we were in the kindergarten. We wanted to go to school. And when we were in the school, we wanted to grow up to the high school. When we finished the high school, we wanted to finish and to go to university. Are we living where we are, or are we living all the time towards the next stage? Okay? Are we crossing the stage, or are we doing something inside this path that we are? When I'm working, okay, I'm working to bring money to my home. When I'm learning for getting some sort of a certificate. When I'm raising up kids, I'm doing it so they will be raised up and I will be free again. I'm living here and now, or I'm just crossing the stage that I am. Most of the people of the world, okay, most of the people of the world all the time are searching for the next stage. Think about this, it's true. I don't think I need to approve it, but it is. It also sounds very reasonable and very responsible. I need to have a certificate, and this is why I'm going to the university. But in a moment, we will see that it's a bit more complicated. Okay, so let's go inside and let's start to go inside. Let's read first of all in chapter 1, in the third day, and the commandment of the divine, please.
Okay, Genesis chapter 1, the third day, the divine command, and God said, let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seed, fruit tree bearing fruit, after its kind, whose seed is in it, upon the earth. Notice fruit tree and bearing fruit.
So we have two things. We have two things here, okay? This is what God wished. This is what God asked. This is what God commanded from the earth, right? And that we have not only a fruit tree, but also that the tree itself is going to be with the taste of the fruit. It's written down. It's not me, okay? This is how the prophets wrote down this thing of the third day. And what really happened? Please, Dan.
Okay, and in reality, and the earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed after their kind, and trees bearing fruit, whose seed was in it after its kind. The command, fruit tree bearing fruit. Reality, only trees bearing fruit. The word fruit tree disappeared.
First of all, technically, and it's not a mistake inside the script of the Bible, okay? But technically what happened is, if I will taste from the apple, it's very tasty. If I will taste from the orange is very tasty. From the grape juice, it's very tasty. But if I will try to taste from the tree of the apple, of the orange, of the fruit, the grapefruit, it's very sour. I don't have the taste of the fruit, right? It vanished. God wanted one thing. In reality, something else happened. What is the difference between those two? Okay, what is the difference? So first of all, let's see, Rashi is the main commentator that we have on the Torah, and I think that once, I did it even more than once. Maybe we need to learn it once again. I showed that we can learn Rashi in 4 stages. The Lubavitcher Rebbe showed it for 40 years. 40 years he was teaching us Rashi, and every Shabbat he was teaching us Rashi, and each Rashi that he was teaching us, he showed us that they have 4 levels of understanding. Okay, but Rashi is also in a very simple way we can see things. So let's see what Rashi is saying, please.
Okay, Rashi, 11th century, explains fruit tree, a tree whose taste is like the taste of its fruit. Rashi on Genesis 1:11. The means and the end are the same experience. The path itself would be the taste of the destination. Whoa.
This is exactly what we're speaking about. We have here in this in the third day, people are reading it, we're reading it. Now let's start to understand what is the message for us. I will say, God wanted very much that also the path itself, I'm taking the tree from the inside the ground till it's going outside and we have the fruits, okay? All this system is taking out the tree, the fruit. And God wanted very much that also the way that the fruit is going outside will be in the same experience of the fruit itself. But what happened? Something on the way got lost. The way is sour. The fruit is very tasty. When I want to have, I will say, and it's very important to have a diploma so I can work as a lawyer, whatever it is, as someone that is healing others as a doctor. It's very important, the diploma. But the way of achieving this diploma, a lot of times it's very sour. It's very unpleasant. I want to have family. And suddenly this young kid, okay, a lot of times is annoying me. I need to wake up at night. I want to see the lesson, and suddenly he's coming from here, from there. I want to see also the lesson. He's bothering me. And now I wanted very much to raise up a family. At the end, when he will be 20 years old, oh, I'll be very glad. But on the way, what's happening on the way? Rashi says to us, God wanted very much that the means and the end, both of them will have the same experience. In reality, we have two different things. Let's go to stage B. Okay, it's very interesting. But before we go into stage B, who did the sin? Who didn't obey to God's request? We don't have men here. Who didn't obey to God? The earth. The earth did something similar, but didn't do the same thing. In Hebrew, the word earth, by the way, it's the same word. Eretz, earth, it's the same word. Okay? I said to you more than once. So we have more than 20,000 words that are the same word in English and in Hebrew. Okay? They took from the Hebrew the word. Earth in Hebrew, it's eretz. Same thing. Earth, eretz, the same. But the word eretz, earth in Hebrew is also coming from the word will. I have willpower. What I want, what I wish. At the beginning, before man was here, where did we saw some sort of a spark of free will? Just like God have free will. In the earth. This is where the earth listened to God. And because of reasons that we're not going to go inside now, I will tell you that it's a bit related, okay, with the question of why there is so much evil in this world. But put it aside, it's not, I mean, it's a different lesson. We need to learn it. I'm not going to this now, okay? The earth didn't look out the exact words of God to reality.
Wow.
And God is not upset on the earth.
Rabbi,
but when you will remember that for a moment, when he's punishing men that ate from the forbidden tree, and he's throwing him out from was the world created. And we have two answers. Please, done.
Okay. Rabbi Eliezer said in Tishri, fruit tree, world created whole, history as accident. Rabbi Yehoshua,
let me explain this.
Or becoming whole.
Okay, let me explain what's happening here. There is a very big debate inside the Babylon Talmud. The world was created. It was created in the time of Atom. Okay, this is Tishrei. Europe, Israel. I'm speaking about Israel. Okay, but we're also speaking about. Go to the places you will see. Let's speak about is more or less the month before the autumn, before Tishrei. And when God is saying, let there be a fruit tree, God is saying basically, I want that the world will be created in a time like the autumn, that you have all the fruits already on the trees. Okay? Or in other words, the world was created a whole thing, wholeness. Time of history, it's an accident. This is what Rabbi Eliezer is saying. Okay? If you go to Rabbi Yehoshua, they're arguing one with each other. Both of them were the students of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. Both of them were kids when the second Temple Mount was destroyed. Okay? And They were the great rabbis in their generation. Rabbi Yeshua is saying something else. We're speaking about Nisan. Nisan is the spring. In the springtime, you don't yet have all the trees full of fruits, okay? But it's only bearing fruits. Or in other words, the history is essential in this world. God is creating something that will create the fruits in the future.
Yeah, the blossom.
Okay? Exactly. And the world is becoming. So we have here two big rabbis. One is saying that holiness is the main thing, and becoming whole, the progress, is an accident. And the other one is saying, no. Becoming whole, history is the essential thing. With all of the respect, this is the main important that we need to have here. It's not a technical issue. It's much more than a technical issue. Okay. Basically, okay. This is what we explained that it's a question of the existence, how we're living here in this world. And from here, let's see for a moment from each one of them what exactly is the verse that he took to show that he is right. Okay. I'm sorry. It's okay. So we see here. Sorry. Let's go back. The one is taking from the fruit tree, and the other one is taking from trees bearing fruits. Okay. Each one of them is taking from a different thing. What is the most amazing thing inside this inside this discussion is that each one of them is being asked, what is with the other side? Okay. With all the respect to Rabbi Eliezer, there's also the verse that Rabbi Yeshua is bringing. And with all of the respect to Rabbi Yeshua, there's also the verse that Rabbi Eliezer is bringing. So each one of them is saying, my verse is the main one, the other one is my side. Okay? And now let's continue on with what Rabbi Cook. Okay? Because Rabbi Cook is basically going one stage ahead and showing us that we need to have both of them. Okay.
Yeah. He said the model. Back that up one second. Yeah, the model. Please. Not to decide between perfections. In other words, that either choosing between the two gets you stuck in a rut of tunnel vision, but to hold them both. So it's a balance, like a scale of justice, if you will. If you only have one side, the scale doesn't function.
Okay, and now let's read for a moment Rabbi Cook. And remember that
first reading of Rabbi Cook.
Once last week we brought him, or last lesson we brought him. He's sitting down, summarizing a lot of learning from all of history of the exile, and bringing it to the Hebrew nation that is coming back to our homeland. Okay, please read this for a moment, and I will explain this. You can see everything here. Yes.
Okay.
Please.
We understand in the absolute divine perfection two values of perfection. The first value is absolute perfection. No addition can be made to it. That was Rabbi Eliezer's fruit tree analogy. The second value, perfection of becoming, continually increases. Rabbi Yehoshua, trees bearing fruit.
So we have two ways to look at things. You can both what Rabbi Cook is doing, okay, that both of them
are rooted in divinity. Both are necessary. Yes.
This is what Rabbi Cook is doing, okay? If I remember correctly, I brought the exact, okay? Please.
Yeah, I found, especially coming out of Christianity, the sad part is often everybody has a finish line mentality. Their whole concept of salvation, somehow they've crossed a line and they've got it, just like you were saying with a certificate. But I remember doing a class with you, Rabbi, one time when we talked briefly about, so you get a driver's license certificate, right? So you can drive a car. That doesn't mean you can fly a 747 airplane or a helicopter. graduation, tasks are different and life continues. Okay. But if there were no possibility of addition, this would itself be a deficiency. Very, very true. That was Rav Kook.
But he's speaking about God.
Right.
We say all the time that God is a perfect thing that we have or that we know. But if there won't be any part of a possibility of addition, it's also some sort of, it's amazing to think that Rabbi Kook wrote something like that.
Wow. When you think of the Ein Sof, you think of completion, no possibility of addition. What a way to think of it. Perfection that cannot receive addition is itself a deficiency. So this balances.
So we need also always to have the possibility to add addition, to progress, to move on. Okay?
That's life.
And this is exactly why we need those two sages. The sage that is saying that everything is perfect, and the sage that is saying that you need all the time to drive, to continue, to move on.
Arms of the scale,
And today I think it's even more clear, because when you look for a moment and you understand exactly the situation with the Muslims, and never mind now if you're speaking about the few millions that went now and mourn for the death of the Khamenei, or you go to Turkish side where they are the Sunnis, but they're also speaking about killing others. Basically, the Muslims of today got stuck in history 900 years ago, and since then they're not renewing anything in their. They don't have any way to renew things. They admitted this. We spoke with them. I'm saying we spoke with them. We spoke with also people in the universities of the United States. I'm speaking about Arabs. Okay, we spoke with the Arabs all over the range that we have. And they got stuck, and they more or less are looking at things in a place where everything is, this is it. This is a complete Torah, what Muhammad gave us, and nothing else. And we see today how much violence is bringing, because they don't have the ability to speak with the world that got progress to something else. While we have on the other side, the side that is all the time progressing, and even forgot that there's also some sort of a stable things that we need to be, as I will say, the ground of things that we need to put until we're coming to a stage of the modern world of today that there is no one truth, or everything could be a truth, even things that are not truth. For example, to go to such an unbelievable thought that a man is a woman and a woman is a man. Okay. Biologically, it's not true. Okay. Now, it's coming from a very interesting, good, I will say, good ambition of taking out all the boundaries. But there is also limits for this. So you can't be only on the side of the progress, and you can't be only on the side of the, I will say, what was always and to stay. Okay. We need all the time to have the balance of those two. And Rabbi Kook is writing those things in 1930. Please read this, it's very important. Where most of the rabbis were against Darwin and against evolution and against modern science. Please read what he's writing.
Okay. And the more that science continues to base itself on the foundation of development, the closer it draws to the brightest divine light. Darwin, evolution, modern science, not a threat to faith, approaching the divine light. But it becomes this dogmatic.
A total different mindset. I will explain this like that. We all know that for decades, okay, if someone dared to think that the world is going around the moon, around the sun, he was being burned from the church was burning him, right? And only when the church and science separated one from each other, the science started to fly up there and to bring a lot of things, because they did a separation. The dogma of the I will say, the faith didn't allow science to flee and to think, higher than where we were. I will say it like that. And suddenly, then we're starting to have Darwin speaking about evolution. The science today is speaking about creation of the world that started with the Big Bang 14 billion years ago and 200 million years ago, okay? But it's something that they didn't have the possibility, okay, of thinking like that, even because it was very close with the dogma. Rabbi Kook in 1930 is writing this sentence. It's amazing to think. We're not afraid of Darwin. I don't know what is better, to think that man was being created from the dust, or to think that man was being created from the monkey. I'm not also giving the answer. We know that God gave to man, to the human being, okay, spark of God, there's some sort of a soul. Wasn't before. Exactly how it happened, today, the science think that it came from the monkey. Another 200 years, maybe the science will think that it came from the dust. I don't know. I don't care. The Torah didn't spoke about this issue. The Torah spoke about the idea that man got some sort of an addition, okay, that wasn't before, that God implemented inside him in some sort of a time, this soul. And today, every human being that you see in the world have also a soul inside himself. But we're speaking about an evolution. Now, if you understand, if you see that there was, once there was a dinosaurs, and then we had, we moved from part to part, from session to session. Of course, the world today is much better than the world even 2,000 years ago. You know that it was very popular to give birth for the first baby, and then to sacrifice it and to kill it and to give it to God. Insane. You look at that, it's insane. But this is what it was. It was very popular to do that all over the world of the old days, 2,000 years ago. Didn't we progressed? We did. We all the time also progressing, moving up, step by step. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. Rabbi Kook is even mentioning something much more, I will say, hard. Please, Dan.
Okay. Rav Kook warns against two errors. The first, darkness, deniers of becoming. There is no development in divinity. The second darkness, banished darkness, deniers of absolute perfection. Bergson, everything flows. I kind of relate this like a painting. If you got a white canvas and it's all white, you can't discern anything. If it's got too much darkness, it's all black and you can't discern anything. So you've got to
You
have a
need
balance
all the time to have two legs, not to be on the only moving, not to be only on the everything is completely as it is. But Rabbi Kook is mentioning a very important philosopher, okay? And this philosopher that he's mentioning from 1927 that got the Nobel Prize. Please read this.
1 second. Okay, Rav Kook writes explicitly, this is banished darkness residing in the system of the modern pretentious philosophers. Bergson. Henry Bergson, he won the Nobel Prize in 1927. Everything flows. Flow without ground is not freedom, it is loss. Spillage, yeah.
If you're only on the one leg, you're getting lost. If you're only on the other leg, you're also getting lost. You need to have those two legs together. You need to have Rabbi Yoshua and you need to have Rabbi Eliezer. You need to have both of them. Okay? You need to understand that the world is on the side of the progress and the world is on the side of the completeness. And we need all the time to have those two things. Okay? And I want to go to another side. Let's see that we have all the time. Okay, so the ground and the motions, the tree and the fruits here to come together. Okay, no one can be alone. I want to go to another part of Rabbi Cook and to explain it, and then we will have a full picture of everything. Please read this part.
Okay. From the beginning of creation, the taste of the tree was meant to be like the taste of its fruits. All the means that hold any high spiritual general purpose were meant to be experienced in the soul at the same height and pleasantness with which the purpose itself is felt. And that was written by Rav Kook, or HaTeshuva 6-7. The means and the end, the same experience.
Okay, so we have this. We were supposed to feel every moment that we raising up our kids, every moment that we are learning for having some sort of a diploma, every work that we do every day for bringing food home, we were supposed to feel the same enjoyment, the same fruit, just like the fruit that we're feeling at the end of those things. Okay, but what happened, please? But
the nature of the earth, the swaying of life, all the weariness of spirituality, caused that only the taste of the fruit is felt in its pleasantness and glory, but the trees that bear the fruit became coarsened and lost their taste. All your paths lost their taste. Wow.
This is very simple. We spoke about this, and you see how Rabbi Cook is defining it.
Sadness in life.
Please.
Yeah. Okay, and from then on, that same pain penetrated also into the human soul. This is not a metaphor. This is not a sermon. This is the architecture of existence. Whoa.
Listen good. We're speaking about days that man is not here yet. Man is not here yet. Before man came, you see, a lot of times people are speaking about the dogma of Christianity is that because of the sin of man. Sorry, there's a sin here that started before man was here, but it went inside also to human being. It's the sin of the earth that human being was born after this sin, or was born towards this situation. And there is I will say, a differentiation between the moment that we're sitting with the ceremony that we finished, the climax that we wanted to achieve, and the way that we passed. Think about this for a moment. Today, we all know those are the days of the football match, right? The World Football Match. Think about those that came now to the stage of the 8 finalists, okay? Or those that will come to the last game. Those who were going to come to the last game, the last two, one of them is going to win, and the other one is they're not going to lose. Maybe in the match, they were a bit less. But at the end, both of them came to the most highest level. So one of them came to the most highest level, and the other one came to almost the most highest level. Fair enough. But both of them did an amazing, journey. But still, one country will feel that they won, and the other one will feel, oh, we lost everything. We didn't lose everything. You got a lot of things also. The question is how we look at things. Okay? Every time. Let's continue. The sin of the earth. Okay? Please read this. Okay? In a moment, we're going to flip it to something amazing. Please.
Okay. Rav Kook gives it a name. He calls it the sin of the earth, the gap between the command and what the earth brought forth, and it entered the human. Yeah, I've wrestled with so many Christian debates, Rabbi, that, they will cite the cursed earth, but it's always because of Adam's sin. This really shines some great light that it happened prior.
So this is what we're learning. We're learning the first chapter with the I'll say, with the glasses of the Hebrew nation. Okay, but let's look for another very important thing, please.
Okay. Where are you living? The sin of the earth. Your work, life, or a means to life. Your relationships, the thing itself, or in order to. This is huge. Studies, money, achievement, taste, or in order to. Yeah, this is the error many people make in living for sure.
Exactly. And now look what we can do. Okay. The truth
You
is, I
left a
don't like
religion.
this slide too much, but you read it already. You started to read it. Okay.
Sorry, you left a religion, but you did not leave the structure. And this I've seen often with Noahides. It's all new, and they have to unlearn everything that they are wired with. Okay, you did not leave the structure. Still running, still in order to, still waiting for life to begin. This is the same sin of the earth in secular dress. Wow.
And now let's read this part, please. This is very important.
Okay. And every flaw, its end is repair. We are assured with certainty that days will come in which creation will return to its original state, and the taste of the tree will be like the taste of the fruit. According to Rav Kook and Orot HaTeshuvah, the repair does not wait for the end of days. The repair begins today.
With us.
Don't have a finish line mentality.
Decide how we're going to live here.
Right.
It's on our responsibility to think and to decide how exactly we're going to live here. How are we going to do our job? How are we going to do, you know what, those who finished already and now they're retired, how are they going to fill the time of retirement with the family, with the kids? What exactly they're going to do? How exactly are you going to live? How exactly are you going to finish?
Rabbi, if I could say one thing, I grew up in a steel town where they made lots of steel factories. Nonetheless, I saw when I was younger, people that worked in these mills till 30, 40 years, they finished and they were forced into retirement. In other words, the company forced them out. They were too old or they were bringing in younger people or downsizing, whatever the case was, they were forced into retirement. The saddest thing, the average lifespan of these people was 2 years after retirement because they did not know what to do with their days. They would hang around and meet their friends for a coffee in the morning, early mornings, because they were used to getting up real early and going to work for 30, 40 years. And they had no vision for the day, no taste for life as you're sharing. And sadly,
and you can put. If I'm jumping for a moment for the last lesson that we had, and we spoke that the difference between, I will say, learning Torah and learning other wisdoms, and you can also learn other wisdom as with the same intention inside. It depends on inside you. The same intention of learning Torah and acknowledging God. The same thing is happening here. It's an our responsibility that we can live life in the full capacity where we are, and this is how we are repairing the sin of the earth.
Wow. Huge, humongous. May the 7 lamps give light together, and the taste of the tree be like the taste of the fruit. Yeah, life is best lived, for sure.
I will say one thing, but I will say it by heart. I'm not going to give it now here in this. With your permission, I'm going to stop the share for a moment, okay? And we're going to see all of you together again. אני באמצע שיעור, אני אחזור לך עוד מעט. Let me find you, just a moment. Where are you? Oh, here it is. I can see you all. Good to see. For me, okay, I think that you know, all of you, that I was also a high school principal for 4 years. I was dealing with a lot of students until I noticed that, yeah, I'm the same age and I'm all the time growing up. And then I started to also to work with the people all over the world. And only then I realized my name. I got a very interesting present from my parents. Okay. My name is Chaim. Chaim in English is life. And it took me time to realize that the present that my parents gave me, your name is life. But in Hebrew, your name and your purpose is the same thing. When you ask one each other, what is your name? We're saying in Hebrew, what is your purpose in life? So there are people like King Solomon. In Hebrew, King Solomon is peace. He's giving peace and harmony. You know that our sages are telling us that in the days of King Solomon, there were no war in the world. How many wars do we have today in the world? Do you know? We have more than 60. Not Chaim Goldberg is saying it, okay? The United Nations is saying it. Not we all know the war between the United States and Israel and Iran. We all know the war between Kiev and
Russia and Ukraine. Yeah.
But with all of the respect, okay, there are also a lot of wars, big fights with a lot of bloodshed in Africa, in South America, in 60 places.
Indonesia,
in Solomon's time, his name was peace. Solomon in Hebrew is peace. Okay, I'm a very ordinate, rabbi. He grew up here. My great rabbi was also called Chaim. Okay, Rabbi Chaim Druckman. It took me time to realize that I need to take out and not to be afraid, not to be shy, to take out the wisdom of life to the world. And this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying. I hope I'm managing. You can always ask me questions. Sometimes I'm vanishing from people for 2 weeks, but usually I'm very close with the emails and with the WhatsApp and everything else.
Are you going to share the notes with us, Rabbi? The today's
now
notes?
I'm going to share with the slides. Okay, I'm going to give you the slides so you'll be able to see it also.
Thank you.
And yes, please feel comfortable. Please feel comfortable also to share it with with whoever you think that is it's good. You can also comment and send me comments and ask questions, whatever it is. Always feel comfortable. And again, I'm saying that this is where are you now? Oh, here it is. I'm with a few windows open. Hi, Jacob. Good to see you also. So here it is. I'm sending the notes. Here it is. I'm sending it here. Then you can also put it on the internet, on the recording, so people will be able to have it there. Basically, we finished what I want to teach in the first chapter. As I said, next week we're going to recap it a bit, so we'll see all the framework together. But mainly, as I'm saying, if you're not reading it through the eyes of the prophets, so you're reading it through your own eyes with your own imagination. It's fine, but it's not Torah. It's fine, but it's not the words of God. It's the word of yourself. Very nice. Don't put it on the Torah. Don't say that this is the Torah. Especially not in the first few chapters of the Torah, that is speaking about things that we don't understand. No one came back from heaven. We're going to discuss heaven and earth, God and Eden soon, in chapter 2 and chapter 3. And no one was there. And no one was here in the days that God created the world. So there is a messages that we're receiving through the prophets. Let's learn what the prophets is teaching us. And it's teaching us a lot of life. And I want to remind you all, also myself, those are chapters that are not speaking about the Hebrew nation.
Wow.
The nation of the world is related also with you, Bart, with you, Vincent, Dalia, Bob, Jacob, Ellen, I'm not saying it. Dan, everybody that is here, okay?
And
Everybody that
Julie's
is
with
here,
us today. Yeah, Angelica.
Julie, Tina, everybody, with all the respect, those chapters are not speaking about the Hebrew nation. The Hebrew nation is
That's
not
right.
yet here. So we all can get connected with the source of life and achieve a lot of life outside.
Wow, it blows my
Questions,
mind.
please, people.
Question.
What?
Yeah.
Please, please,
Excuse me,
Jacob.
Dan. Sorry. So I think I remember learning that the Torah in Israel and maybe one other thing were created in Nisan, maybe in the spiritual sense, and maybe Adam in the spiritual sense was created, but the actual physical manifestation, I don't know if this is in line with what you've received from
Well,
your rabbi, but
the calendars
First
weren't
of all, I
created
brought
then.
the main, I will say, argument that is being written down and being said and mentioned in in the Babylon Talmud on the Rosh Hashanah. It's called 11, and this is where it speaks about all those things. I didn't went inside to all of the wordings, but this is the main thing that happened there. And what you are mentioning is what people are finalizing part of things. Okay, there is a main debate between those two. It's also related, by the way, with the redemption of the Hebrew nation that is being mentioned in Sanhedrin. Okay, somewhere else. I'm not going inside to the full side of all of this issue, but I mentioned mainly the things that are related with how to read, how our sages that were connected with the prophets read those lines, understood them. For thousands of years, those are the wordings. This is how we are living.
excuse me, Rabbi, just one other. When it says that the ground was cursed because of the man, why isn't it like in the list of the serpent and the woman and the man?
It is there.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't give it like a kind of chastisement. Doesn't give it kind of like a correction, like, oh, you didn't follow this this commandment about tasting like the tree, like the fruit.
First of all, it is there, and you can see also Rashi there. It's Rashi is mentioning there. Okay, when it's cursing, man is basically also curse the earth that it says the it's going to spread out also a lot of things that are not useful, and it says there. But it's more than that, if you ask me. When man was cursed, okay, on his behavior, when he decided not to obey to God, it was already in a stage where the earth didn't really or doesn't have any more freedom of life, freedom of choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't say specifically to earth, you did a sin.
Right, yeah. It
so
didn't have the ability.
On the third day, we see the earth still have some sort of a freedom of choice, and it's doing the sin. So at the end, when Adam that decided not to listen to God did the sin, so God is also cursing Adam and Eve through the earth. So it's only hinting, because in the stage that men came to this world, everything else lost the freedom of choice, except for the human being. By the way, it's not 100% exact what I'm saying. There is still the earth of Israel, the only place that have some sort of a freedom of choice. If the Hebrew nation is doing sins, this is when the earth of Israel is throwing them outside.
Spit them out, yeah.
That's it. It's finished. The earth of Israel doesn't have any more this possibility, because we came back after the third time. I'm not going inside to this big issue. That's it. The earth lost everything. The earth doesn't have any more at all freedom of choice.
Wow.
Not even in him. But because when Adam and Eve were the only people that had freedom of choice, the earth already was locked, didn't have freedom of choice. This is why the earth is being only cursed in a hinting way and not in a full capacity.
And Rabbi, it still continues in the sixth day that God formed man from the earth and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. Wow. Order of events. I really am blown away that Rav Kook would say perfection that cannot receive addition is itself a deficiency. And he wrote that in 19. Such a profound thought. It's really helped me resolve some quantum physics questions in my mind, and just the nature of reality. I love how you wrote this is the architecture of reality. Whoa, just it's mind-blowing, and people do not want to see things as they truly are. It's sad that dysfunction continues, but that's part of the nature of life. I like how you've explained in the notes the different types of darkness, and so it makes life worth living, regardless. How many people out of fear would not do certain things because they don't have enough courage to try and do something different? I like how Einstein said, the definition of insanity is doing things the same way and expecting a different result over and over. I mean, reality is, don't be afraid to try something new, and you cannot go wrong with Torah. And it's like I've been waiting to understand this lesson for the last number of years, and you've brought it out in such a fashion that it's digestible. So I want to thank you for taking the time and preparing these lovely notes. They're so treasured to me personally. I hope the rest of you in the class are getting as much out of it. And blessings to you, Rabbi, and all Israel.
Blessings to America that have 250 years. A new baby infinite born.
Yeah, on a global scale, on a empirical scale, sure, yeah. Exciting. Yeah, we had a Canada Day here on July 1st, and I think for us it was 135 years or something since 1867. Wow. No, 159th. It was our 159th year in Canada since our national, and I had to work security. Big matter. Yeah, I got to stand right underneath the fireworks, and interesting, but life is so much more, and I hope you all live it to its
by the way, I have a question. I have a question to Jacob. What is the second language in France?
I think it's French. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head, but I suspect that it's Arabic. But I'll check.
No.
I think it's
Arabic
French.
is the first language. The second language is France.
It's French.
There are places that the people speaks only Arabic in France.
Oh, okay. I was half right.
Fair enough. The world is changing. The world is waiting for us. Believe me, the world is waiting for us. I'm not saying those. I'm not teaching those things because I think that the world is really waiting for us, and hopefully we're going to change the world, all of us together. See you next week.
Next week, Rabbi. Thank you so much. Have a blessed week, and
Everybody.
You folks out there, keep an eye out. I'm hoping to get some videos from Rabbi Shirky's material out to you soon. Hopefully, maybe I'll even see one tomorrow, Hashem willing. But once they're in my hands, I'll make sure I share them out there on the YouTube and Facebook, Rabbi Shirky's teachings in English. So look forward to that. Till next week, Rabbi, thank you. Thank you, Bob, for coming, and all the usual suspects. So blessings to you all as well. Till next week, have a wonderful, wonderful week, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.